Hey guys, welcome back. I'd like to do something a little bit different today. Uh, Other than I don't get to post a whole lot, so I guess that is a little bit different. Anyway, I've been meaning to do this for a while, and I'd like to dedicate this video to my good friend Hans, who we all know as CaptainStrangelife. Uh, I know when I first discovered years ago, I'm not sure how many years ago now, but several, that there was actually a comic book community on YouTube, and people were showing their books and all this kind of stuff, and I was just thrilled. And his was probably the first channel, or one of the first channels I ever saw, and he was kind of going through, and I think he actually showed a room that he had upstairs, apart from his, normal comic cave down in the basement, and it had just like everything had toys and movie posters and uh, Charlton comics and Harvey comics and just all kinds of different stuff. And one of the things that struck me was he was a big fan of Harvey comics. Now, I read comic books probably since I was able to read, and a lot of that early stuff, that was what I read. I mean, I read a lot of the Harvey stuff and Archie, and I've still got long boxes full of that stuff. I mean, before I guess I became what most people call a comic collector proper, getting into Marvel and DC and all the superhero and horror and mystery and action stuff. Everything got really serious. But before that, I would always go like to the drugstore, uh, and my folks, or like go to the grocery store, and they would let me pick out a couple comics, and it would be like Sad Sack or Richie Rich or Hot Stuff, or something like that. And it, like I say, if you even now, if you want to read something, and you don't want to get into a multi-part epic or something real heavy, I can always pull out a stack of this stuff, and it'll make me smile. And it just takes me back, to the time when I was a kid. And I know Hans is a big fan of that stuff, so I would like to dedicate this to him. This is just a random stack of stuff I just pulled out, so we'll get at it. Here we have Richie Rich Success, number 46. 52-page giant. I always like the little, faces on the side there showing all the characters that may or may not be in this book. Richie Rich Millions, number 17. Some of these are bags, some of them are in Mylar, some are not. Just kind of pulled some stuff out. It's one of those great square-bound books. I don't care who publishes. I just love his format. There's some great stuff. It's got that great old comic smell. Okay, Richie Rich number 87. 15-cent cover price. Number 125. And somebody kind of scratched out the poor and rich and reversed them on there. That's just what kids, including myself, is just what we did with comics in those days. And drew on them. Doesn't matter. Baby Huey, number 94. Another square-bound giant. Richie Rich Dollars and Cents, number 41. And Hot Stuff Sizzlers, number 3. Another cool square-bound giant. Sad Sack, number 204. With the original artist George Baker drawing the cover there. Sad Sack Navy Gobs and Gals, number 5. Sad Sack Life Special, number 36. And I think if you watch one of Hans' recent videos, he made note that there was actually a movie called Sad Sack that Jerry Lewis starred in. A pretty funny little flick. So it's kind of cool. Sad Sack Life Special, number 36. Little lot of 65. Nothing, key or special about any of these, I don't guess. I mean, I guess a lot of the earlier ones are probably a little bit more pricey. Uh, I've got a few here that were actually, and I know he has some of these too, like what they call the Harvey adventure line or action line from back in the early mid 60s. Here's one, Unearthly Spectaculars #2, starring Jack Quick Frost, the coolest hero in comics. It's one of these square bounds. I think this has art in it by Wally Wood, Al Williamson, Gil Kane is in this one. So for fans of those artists, got a little bit of everybody in here. I think Joe Simon is actually in here too. Here's one of my favorites. This one came out early from Harvey. This is Captain 3D #1 from 1953. And this is actually Jack Kirby on the pencils and Steve Ditko on the inks. And if I remember right, I'm pretty sure this still has the 3D glasses in it. Yeah. There we go. So if you want to read this comic, if I can keep them in my hand, there you go. Kirby and Ditko with the 3D glasses. So it's pretty cool. I know a lot of guys are like into 3D comics, and I've got a few, but I really like this one. Okay. I'm going to try not to let this run too long, but back in the Mylar. So, Captain 3D #1. And this was kind of a high price for a book at the time. Cost $0.25 for 1953. But I guess for the simple reason that it was 3D, warranted that price. And this is something kind of different for Harvey too. It was Harvey Pop Comics #2. And I guess this was probably mid to late 60s. And there was only 2 issues, and I really want to find #1 because it featured the Cow Seals, which is like one of my favorite old bands. For people that don't know, Cow Seals were the ones that inspired the Partridge Family. And they had songs like Indian Lake and Hair, Rain the Park and other things. They did the theme song to Love American Style, if anybody remembers that movie. So if anybody has a #1 and wants to sell it. Okay, here we have Top Secret Adventures Spy-Man #1. And this is actually the first published work of one Mr. Jim Steranko. And I think this was like the only piece I already had. So I think it might show this on the inside, but I know that was probably just like a page or a panel, but I think this was his first published work. Another little title called Alarming Adventures #2. I think that's a John Severin cover, if I'm not mistaken. And this is Big Hero Adventures #1. Jigsaw, Man of 1,000 Parts. Okay, back to the funny stuff. Spooky Spooktown #23. Another giant. Probably Spooky and Hot Stuff. Sad Sack and Stumbo were like my favorites. I mean, I love the Richie Rich stuff and Casper. And I don't know why I didn't pull out any Casper, but yeah, I've got some Casper in here. Okay. Okay, not too sure who this. I think this is Harvey Hits #90, featuring Gabby Gobb. I guess he was a sailor. Sad Sack and the Sarge #75. More George Baker art on the cover. Yeah, there's some Casper. #68. It's in pretty nice shape. 12-cent cover price. I noticed a lot of these, like there are a lot of rain covers on Harvey Comics. I guess to show the water going through the ghost. I'm not sure. This is Casper #70. It's an older issue. It's a 10-cent cover. Like I said, one of my favorite characters. Here's Stumbo Tiny Town #4. think these are all giant size. 13 issues, I believe. I'm still trying to complete this run just because. Okay. Little Dot number 110. Another great little character. Little Audrey, TV Fun Time. Harvey giant size comic number 17. Like I say, Hot Stuff is one of my favorites. Here's Hot Stuff number 42. 10-cent cover. Really like this one. Here's Devil Kids, starring Hot Stuff number 3. This is actually a Harvey file copy. It's an 8.0, so really nice looking cover, especially with the black background. More Spooky, number 89. Here's a number 1 issue, Spooky Haunted House number 1. Spooky number 25. Another 10-cent cover. Number 101. And Spooky number 105. More lightning. So lightning and rain is a theme. Okay, the last two I got, these are slab books. I just got them because I love the covers and they were got them for a good price. Here's Devil Kids Hot Stuff number 6. This is an 8.0. I posted this one and the other one on the show on Instagram, so some of you might have already seen these. But yeah, really cool cover. And I think, yeah, this is number 1, Tough Ghosts starring Spooky. Number 1. It's in a 6.5. Another great black cover. Love these great old ads on the back. Great premiums. We give you cash. Foreign coins. Just mail a coupon. Yeah, but I really love these. So, wrap this up. Say, Hans, my friend, this is for you, and I salute you for all the great years that you brought those videos to us on YouTube and the stuff on Instagram. And you know, I just kind of look at him as like the godfather of the comic community. You know, he's been around since the get-go. Still making videos this day. I just watched one today. So anybody that doesn't know who Captain Strangelife is, go please and check him out. So that's all I got. Hope you guys are having a great Sunday, and I will see you soon. Onward and upward.